Hi, in this video we're going to look at a feature we can use with our simulation software in order to track data over time. So we use a logging function in order to do that, and I'm going to show you how to use that, the basics of it today. Okay, so with the data logging function, what I can do is I can track some data and create a graph over time. So here I have some water system and I can see some variables that are changing. I can see that my pressure is changing, my level is changing, and my pump is turning on and off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log all these things so that I can create a diagram showing me how all of these things are changing. Okay, so let's figure out how we do that. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to our panel directory and we're going to open up our page 130, the trend group directory. And then what I have here are 12 different boxes. And I'm just going to click on any of them. And what will come up is a graph that I can populate. Okay, so if I go back to my page that I was on, in this case it was 6.7, I can move this window and it will always stay on top. And I can change the size of it too, so I'm just going to move it so that it's a little bigger and a little easier for us to see. And what I have is 6 different places where I can add in data, and I can choose what the scaling is that I want to see that data set. Okay, so here's how we populate this table. First of all, what we want to do is choose what our variables are that we're tracking and then enter them in. So in order to find, say, this pressure, if that's what I'm looking for, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my pressure that's listed down here, the tag P09511. So I'm going to enter that in, P09511. Make sure you've used a capital so it doesn't work with lowercase, and make sure you've used 0 instead of O. And when you hit enter, that tag should be accepted and it will give you the value and the description. So hydrophore tank pressure, and that looks appropriate for what I'm trying to find. Now I got to set my scaling, so it's going to be right now 0 and 0 as the default, but maybe I'll take my cue from my graph over here, so my or my gauge, so 0 to 5 bar, and sure, I'll keep that, so 0 to 5 bar sounds good. Okay, and so what we have is you have your scaling on the side, which is 0 to 100%, and it's always 0 to 100% of this scale that you create. So this would be 0, this would be at 100% 5 bar, and me sitting at around 3.3 or so, I guess is around 70% of that range. Okay, and we can always adjust my scale. So if I didn't want it to be listed like that, maybe I want it to be 0 to 10, I could readjust that and the graph is automatically going to be changed. But I'll leave it at 5 for now. Okay, maybe something else that I'm interested in is the level. Okay, so here's my level, and L09512, L09512. So hydrophore tank level. Okay, so I also have a gauge over here, so 0 to 2.5 maybe seems like a reasonable range, and if I enter that in, looks good, except for now I have data that's right over top of each other. So maybe I want to choose a more appropriate range so that those guys aren't right on top of each other. So maybe instead of 2.5, I may choose 3, and that gives me a little bit of room. I also maybe want to know when this pump is turning on and off. So if I hover over the pump, it has a tag of R09508. So R09508. And hydrophore pump number 1. Let's stretch that out. So you can see it goes 0 to 1, and 1 indicates it's on, 0 indicates it's off. And so maybe I want to just say that 0 to 1. So when that green line goes all the way up, that means it's on, and if it's all the way down, then it is off. And I guess that pump is going to keep cycling on and off, and we can see when that change happens on our graph. Now it may be a little distracting to see those lines go all the way up to the top and all the way down to the bottom. So again, we could reuse our scaling. So instead of 0 to 1, maybe if I set it at 0 to 10, then I can just use it as a little square wave here. And I can see when does that pump turn on and off without really being disruptive to the rest of my data. So we populated this graph. Okay, we can do some things with that data now. So if we want to, we could change our time window. So instead of it being set at 10 minutes or whatever our default is, we could extend that out or compress it. So maybe if I want it to not be 20 minutes, I want it to see my window being 20 minutes. And by that I mean, what is the horizontal length of this graph? So if I said 20 minutes, everything gets shrunk, and I can see 20 minutes worth of data. Or maybe I want it to see 2 minutes worth of data in more detail, and I can change around that logged data. Okay. The other thing that we can do with this, now that we have some data that we're collecting, is see what is the impact on some changes to our system. So maybe I say, all right, I'm going to see what's going to happen if I open up my drain. So I see my normal operation for this system, and then maybe I open up a drain, and I'm wondering, how's the system going to look or adapt to that change? Okay, and so we can use this tool as a way to learn more about our systems and how they're going to react, and essentially make predictions. So did we think that the level was going to drop? Did we think the pressure was going to drop? Did we think it was going to be able to stabilize? How did this system react? In this case, we see another pump turned on, and we've now had some changes to our pressure and our level. And so it's a tool that we can use to just really get a good in-depth view of what some of the data is that we're seeing.